Good morning and welcome back to Emily Cat 176. It's Wednesday. We've got hot weather again. The whole week's going to be hot, and we have a cyclone heading towards Brisbane, which is in Queensland, so I hope everyone stays safe and well up there, because that's frightening to think that that's coming in March. And there's a cyclone coming, which is not good at all. So, of course, Wednesday is all about poetry. And I've got something a bit different today. I'm going to be talking about two current Australian poets. Now, because they're current, of course, all their work is copyrighted. My channel's not big enough to take on copyright fights, so I'm not going to be reading anything that they have written, but I'm going to talk about them and tell you where you can read their poetry, because I have been reading their poetry and I think it's good. I'm also going to give you one poem that they have written, and then I said it's up to you, and I'm going to tell you where you can find the poems, because Red Room Poetry, I've never heard of that before, but that is where you will find the work of Luke Sweedman. He has been writing poetry for about 15 years, from what I can gather, and the poem I read was Mallee Desert. Now, the Mallee, for people who don't know, is here in Victoria, and I grew up not far from the Mallee. And the interesting thing about Australian poetry, or current Australian poetry, because there's quite a few Indigenous poets coming through as well, which is good. It's all good. They're talking about the landscape. The poems are about landscape and flora and fauna. That's what I would say it's about. But as I said, with Luke Sweedman, if you go to Red Room Poetry, that's where you'll find his poem Mallee Desert and more information about Luke Sweedman. Now, the other poet I want to talk about is Sarah Holland Batt. Now, Sarah Holland Batt, you will actually find her on the very good website called Poetry Foundation. And the poem of Sarah's that I read was Galar's Skull. Now, the I can't talk this morning. Galahs are native birds to Australia. And there is a very old expression, don't be a galah, which means don't be stupid, don't be whatever, so. And that was good too. So, Sarah Holland Batt. Now, Australia doesn't have a poet laureate at the moment, but our federal government is actually talking about bringing this role back, which I hope they do. And Sarah Holland Batt is one of the names that's being discussed. We haven't had a poet laureate since 2023. England's got one, or the UK I should say. America has got one. Well, the American one for how long I don't know, with everything that's going on over there. But so this is apparently what the plan is, to bring back an Australian poet laureate, which, as I said, I think would be a good thing. We really have to protect and fight for the arts at the moment. So they are just two. As I said, go to those sites and you can read their poems. I'm going to do this every so often, not just Australian poets, but of course with all the current poets, it's all copyrighted. And I think I did read somewhere copyright stops after 50 years. I don't know if that's right, but I'm not reading anything that's copyrighted. I don't want to get sued. I don't. I really don't. So, yeah, as I said, it's I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying discovering new poets, reading new poetry, and as I said, the thought of an Australian poet laureate. I think it's a good thing. I know we have other issues, but I think this is good too. To me, poetry and the arts feed society's soul, I think. I don't know if you agree, but I do think in a well-functioning society, the arts are an important part. So, but anyway, as I said, that's the first two. As I said, there are more. If you want to look at, or you're interested in any, just put in current or new Australian poets into Google and you will find these. As I said, there's quite a few Indigenous poets, and of course with the Indigenous artists they're bringing in the dreaming, so it's all very good poetry. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your week and I'll be back on Friday. Bye.